Hey, I hope for whoever's watching that this brightens your day. This is why I come down to the beach and why I drive so far. Look at that. About a week or two ago, I posted on my community post about an Ask Me Anything video, AMA, which I'd heard is really popular here on YouTube. So I did ask, and one of you graciously asked me 3 questions. I was thinking of gathering more questions, but then I realized you are so important. You took the time to ask me a question, so I'm going to answer all 3 of your questions in this video. And you asked such fantastic questions that it was worth making a whole video. Enjoy the video. So I thought I would do my AMA at the beach because the beach is my happy place. It really is my happy place. And we are actually having a delayed summer. So it's March, but it's like February weather here in South Africa. So on the East Coast, we do get a lot of rain, unfortunately, and the rain is usually like spring and early summer, and that keeps things cold. So we're finally getting like hot, beautiful sunny days. So I think I'm going to go for my run walk, and then I will go and get my iced coffee. I love those crushed ice drinks. I know they're sugary. I know they're bad for me, but I think I'll then take you guys along with and then sit down somewhere and answer the questions. I just needed that uplift today. So I thought, yeah, take you guys to the beach. And the beach is like 45 minutes away from my house. So it's quite a drive. If I could have it my way, I would live right by the sea. I have lived by the sea before, but my son's school is inland, so that's why I'm not so close to the beach. But anyway, Durban Beach, the main beach here in South Africa on the East Coast, Durban, has gone to shit, I'm sorry to say. So that's part of answering the question about what it's like to live in South Africa. So Durban Beach itself is not nice, but Umhlanga, so that's how you pronounce it. I'll put the spelling on the screen here for those of you overseas. So the Umhlanga Promenade is probably our best beach now, I would actually say. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's still well kept. It's still safe enough. Anywhere in South Africa, you've got to be aware, be careful. Just keep an eye out on your surroundings. And look, shit happens everywhere in the world these days. So, but Umhlanga Promenade is still nice. It's safe. There are women alone. You can see them walking. Moms carrying, pushing prams, carrying babies with children. So it's still safe enough. Right, so I've been for my 5K run, and you will get to see a little bit of the best of what South Africa is like by the beach. So I'll show you. I've taken you guys to the beach before in my video, which I'll link up here. I'll pop the icon on the screen. It was basically from me going jobless to being a YouTuber, that video. And while we walk, I'll answer the question that you asked me, what job did I do before kids, before YouTube? So before kids, I did every job under the sun. I did house sitting when I was studying at Tech. I did waitering. I waitressed for a catering company when I was 14. I waitressed at a very local little coffee shop near where my dad stayed. Waitering, house sitting. I did some extra work in films and in commercials. So I signed up for at a casting agency. That was really fun. We did a Nivea commercial, and I was an extra in the movie called The Sunflower. Me and another girl were dressed up as like street hoes. That was such fun because that was like on a movie set. So you can see I've always had this fascination with kind of being creative, being on camera. What else did I do? House sitting I really enjoyed as well. The thing I enjoyed was obviously pets, looking after someone else's dogs. I love animals. And I also enjoyed just getting an inside view into somebody's home. Not to be nosy, but just I love people, fascinated with people, and I like to people watch. So, okay, wait, yeah, you want to see the sea? Look at that stunning view. Look at that. Hey, I hope for whoever's watching that this brightens your day. This is why I come down to the beach and why I drive so far. Look at that. Blessed. Super blessed. So this is the Umhlanga Promenade. And if you ever come to Durban, you should come here. Not Durban itself, but come to Umhlanga. So I mean, just when I turn that way, look there. And then if I turn forward, we're going to go to the same coffee spot that I went last time. Although there is a Starbucks up there, I don't like Starbucks. They always give you paper straws. So, ugh, I hate paper straws. The feeling on my tongue, yuck. So we'll go to the other one. I much prefer a Starbucks Frappuccino, though, I must say. But this place also, there's some shade where I can sit and answer your other questions. So what else have I done before that? In Greece, I worked at a jewelry store. That's actually how I got the job, was because I spoke English, and it was a tourist jewelry store in an area of Athens called Plaka. I don't know if any of you have been to Athens, but it's the main tourist. They sell all those tourist curios and whatever's, and it's a tourist jewelry store. So the jewelry was aimed at tourists with that like Greek key design. So I worked there with a Greek guy. And that's where I really learned about selling and jewelry, obviously. And then I left there after a few months, and I dated a Serbian guy, and he was selling stuff on the street. So it was like little stress balls, you can make them yourself out of balloons, which he did. And he would get in these little jumping spiders. I'm sure some of you have seen them. They have like a little pump with like a straw handle tube, I guess, attached to the spider. And then you pump the air and it makes it jump. And this was the best time of my life. This time selling those things and the spiders with this Serbian boyfriend of mine in Athens, in Greece. So what we did in the summer, so I left the jewelry store because the hours were like 12 hours a day. And we went, and in summer we toured the islands selling these balloon stress balls and these spiders. And I also did cartoon portraits. You get the street artists. So I did that. And we toured Mykonos, Crete, and Santorini. And it was heaven on earth. The Greek islands they're just like the postcards. And in summer, it is blue, blue, blue sky, not a drop of rain. Every day is like this, but better. There's no clouds. Okay, my arm's getting tired and I'm going to get some coffee. But that's what I did. And then in Greece, I studied my first year of graphic design. I studied in Greece, in Greek. Can you believe it? Although they spoke a lot of English. And then from there on, I didn't really work other than when I moved back to South Africa and continued my studies here. And then, like I said, I did waitressing and catering and house sitting. I've always done like odd jobs like that throughout the time. And then also worked for my dad's company doing data capturing. I've also worked as a receptionist, a call center agent in London, in Surrey. What else have I done? I've done everything. We'll continue the chat now. Let me grab a coffee. So back here again. I love me my iced coffees. Okay, so there was a couple sitting next to me. Can't talk when my lips are cold. Do you also get that when your lips get so cold from the ice, you can't talk? So I didn't want to record while they were sitting there. But anyway, now I'm alone-ish. I'm on the beach, but it's so beautiful, guys. Today is it is the day I dream of. It's the kind of weather that I could live in. I want to find a place on earth that has got this weather year round. Where is that? I don't know. But if I could retire to, oops, my arm gets so tired. If I could retire to tropical paradise, I would really. I'm not a mountain person. Some people love the cold and they love the mountain. Oh, if you're wondering why I'm wearing gloves, it's because I'm trying to protect my hands from the sun. This here is my bank card stuffed into my running bra because I've got no pockets. So I've put it in some tissue. Yeah, so I'm not a mountain person. Some people love the cold and they love snuggling up and they love layers. I am not that person. If I could wear like exactly what I'm wearing now, as little as possible every day, I would be the world's happiest person. And today I'm even wearing a cropped top. So I'm being a little bit bold, letting my belly sort of hang out while I run. Not that I have a big belly, but it's... So I think in the last vlog I was talking about how I'd lost a bit of weight. Well, I've thrown all that into the trash can because I don't know why. Lately, maybe I was just under eating, but I've rebounded and I've just craved chocolate cake and sweets and I've been eating that. And then in the heat, I love crushed ice drinks. I just love them. I love them, and life's too short. I've only got 40 years or whatever, however long I've got left on the planet, so fuck it. That was nice, but not as nice as a Starbucks. Yeah. So then after Greece, I came back. I studied at Tech. So Tech is like a university for practical skills. I studied graphic design. And then straight out of Tech, pretty much, about 6 months to a year out of Tech, I got my main job that I've had for the last 20 years, which I no longer have, where I became an illustrator. And I did illustrations for that company the company is called Canway. They do like deodorants and beauty and bath products like body lotions, not high end, it's just like scented products. Yeah, body lotions, body butters, bubble bath, deodorants. They've moved into foot creams and now they do shampoos and all that kind of thing. Why don't I put you down? So there we go. So my armpits are tied. And the angle is just going to be what it is. And so I illustrated for them for 20 years. In the beginning, it wasn't a contract. So in the beginning, I had to do other work. And then I also worked at a high-end jewelry store, actually here, in a mall near here, in Umhlanga. That was such fun. I had such fun. We were a good team. Oh, we really had a good time. But I was a pretty good salesperson, but what I didn't like was that the sales targets were really high. And the high sales targets didn't make us fight, but there was like a lot of fighting amongst the sales staff and it just got nasty, so I didn't enjoy that. And then I left there, didn't know what I was going to do with my life, but I had saved up some money. An aunt of mine had passed away and had left me a little bit of money as well. So I'd already bought my own car. I think I had a little bit left of the savings. So I paid for a year of studying psychology, which I did. Worked a bit part-time, and then I met my husband-to-be, and then I moved down where he stayed down further south, and I moved in with him, and then I worked for him. He had a pool company, or still got it. So then I worked for him and still continued illustrating. So I've always been an illustrator right up until last year, and I had my son obviously when I met my husband-to-be. We got married, then we had my son. I'm divorced now. So that's what I've done with my life. Sales and art and waitressing and odd jobs, like all the odd jobs. And I've done a lot of creative, fun things. And I've tried to sell art pieces, like watercolor art pieces. But it's really, 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 really hard to sell unless you're a big name artist. And I think you need to be in Cape Town if you're going to be in South Africa to be an artist, or Joburg maybe. You need to get in with a big gallery and you need to make a hell of a big name to make a living. And it's just, I don't know, it's just the path that didn't happen for me, but YouTube is happening and I really am enjoying it. I love this. I'm actually starting to look forward to making videos. And yes, it's actually quiet enough today, but I don't even care now. I'm walking around filming and if people see me, they see me. I just didn't want to do it with a couple right next to me because that's a bit awkward for them. I don't want them to have to endure me talking the whole time. But this left me a bit unsatisfied, not very nice. Maybe go to Starbucks. Maybe that's an idea. Let's go, and then I can sit down and then answer your question about, I can actually answer your question about what it's like in South Africa while we walk as well, because you can see. So South Africa, look, I don't know Joburg and Cape Town. I don't live in Joburg or Cape Town. I've been to both. I was actually born near Joburg. Cape Town is beautiful, 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 beautiful. It's a scenic city. It is like Europe in South Africa. It's the most expensive city in South Africa. South Africa is beautiful. It's naturally beautiful, so I'm going to answer your question now. But there is crime. It is bad, but there are other places in the world with high crime as well. In South Africa, if you just listen to the locals, you'll know where to go, you'll know where not to go, at what times, and how to manage yourself and your surroundings. It's still livable, it's fine. So you can, and I would come here on a holiday, to be honest. Okay, let's walk and talk some more. So speaking of touristy in South Africa, here's like a little place where you can buy stuff. Look down that walkway there. Okay, so yeah, I would quite honestly, especially if I lived in America or the UK or Australia or the Europe with the euro, you could come here and it would be so cheap for you guys. As a tourist holiday destination, I would come here in a heartbeat. Let me just clean the monitor here. I mean the eye. Because your money would go so far. Our currency is quite weak against the dollar and the euro. So I mean, I think you guys would find everything would be like half price. Cape Town's a bit expensive. Cape Town is like when we go there, we found Cape Town prices expensive for us, but I still think for tourists it would be cheap. In Umhlanga, I would actually come here, and I would come here in March, April, and maybe May, where it's not likely to rain and it'll be hot and sunny and clear skies. I would come then. But yeah, to live here is a challenge, I will say, but I think anywhere in the world has got its challenges. I mean, really, where is perfect? Nowhere. What you find here is that there's a lot of inefficiency, potholes on all our roads, except Cape Town. Cape Town is better run in that way. Dirty, rubbish. There's load shedding, which means that they cut our power regularly so that they can save power because they haven't maintained the power plants. Yeah, potholes in the roads, water problems. But overall, it's so beautiful. Look here, look here, look here. Stunning. So you'll get natural beauty. You know, often you'll see me in my running videos, like my shorts, you'll see that lighthouse. So along here, near that lighthouse, there's a hotel called the Oyster Box. That is stunning. It's probably the most expensive one here in Durban, and it is to die for. So if you can afford it, go stay there and then come to the beach here. But that's what South Africa would be like for a holiday. To live, it's challenging, but I mean, again, like I said, where in the world isn't? We've got fresh air, we've got clean water, you can drink the tap water, no pollution. It's not like we don't have big city problems like you do in Europe. So from that point of view, it is nice. But let's go up. I'll show you the lighthouse. Yeah, it's my favorite view. It's the lighthouse. Now I'm not going to get Starbucks because I'll show you from my car. You see there, McDonald's, and then there's a little Starbucks green sign there. There, okay. That big building there, there's a Starbucks sign as well. I don't know if it's the aircon or what from that building, but the noise is so loud. It's like this hum, this out there. So it's going to be way too loud if I'm going to try and talk. Just look at that scene as I'm driving down. Isn't that beautiful? It looks international. I think Umhlanga looks international and worthy. So I would definitely come here if I were going on holiday. And like I say, March, April, maybe May. May is still all right. Okay, I decided to come home and have a shower. Excuse the messy hair after the run. It was just too hot. I was too sweaty. I wasn't going to go into Starbucks so sweaty. But remember, I was talking about the crop top. You see there, I don't normally show my midriff, even though I'm not, I mean, I could. But this is the running outfit. Where's the light? There. So this is the running outfit there. The mirror in the background. And there's my dog, as always. Oh, there. So I wanted a top that, sorry, I'm moving the mic, a top that covered my chest area because this is where I've got the most speckled, sun damaged skin. So yeah, this was my running outfit of the day for the beach. And lastly, I'm going to show you up here, the cloud cover. You come here and it's cloudy. It's still beautiful, but not as sunny as on the beach. So I'm going to get showered, get dressed, and then if there's time, I'll go take you out, maybe grab a bite to eat, and then we can talk the last portion of the Ask Me Anything. I love being asked questions, as you can tell. Okay, this is going to sound so weird, but I'm actually sitting at a coffee shop in the hospital. And the reason is that it's because a while ago, I think it was 3 years ago, I heard someone say that this coffee shop has the best toasted chicken mayonnaise ever. And it's like my all-time favorite food. Chicken mayonnaise is one of my favorite dishes. That and lasagna, I think. Yeah, the two. I remember when I was breastfeeding, I had such strong cravings for chicken mayonnaise, and there was a Spar, which is one of the supermarkets here in South Africa, across the road from where we live, that did the best takeaway chicken mayonnaise sandwiches. So you can hear all the coffee shop noise. I'll show you quickly. Anyway, they did the best, and I'd eat one every single day. It was like rich and mayonnaise and buttery and divine and delicious. And anyway, so I love chicken mayonnaise. Yeah, let me show you the coffee shop. There we go. So I thought I'd come here. It's literally 2 minutes away from my son's school, and I'm having a coffee, a chicken mayonnaise. Didn't go to Starbucks. It's just, yeah, I didn't get there. And this is also a chance to people watch, which is really nice. So you're going to hear background noise, I think, even though I've got the background noise remover on. You'll probably hear background noise. I'm not wearing makeup because my eyes are a bit red and irritated, and I don't know why. I think it's some makeup or something got in yesterday, and even when I woke up, they were like, especially this one was quite red and irritated. So what are you going to do? I'm just looking out for my order. So the last question is, what workouts do I do besides running? Well, at the moment, gym. So I do weight training at the gym, and I love it, but I'm taking a bit of a back seat and a back step from gym all the time. I used to go religiously 5 to 6 days a week at the gym weight training, but it can get quite taxing on your nervous system and quite heavy. And so instead of doing that now, I'm just doing what I feel like when I feel like. I think here comes my food. Hold on, I'll carry on. Okay, yeah, that was my food. So yeah, I do weight training and running at the moment. Before that, I used to do Latin and American ball, Latin and American Latin American and ballroom dancing, and I loved that. I would only go for lessons like once a week. Sometimes we practice together another day, then I would practice at home. So like 3 days a week, but not it's not intense. I was so super skinny back then, but anyway, but I didn't have muscle and I had weak arms. I remember my teacher saying I didn't have arm strength. When you push, you have to hold and push against your partner. Let me show you the chicken mayonnaise, and I'll tell you if it's that good. Ooh, yay! Okay, so I'm gonna eat and then I'll get back to you. Well, that actually was as good as I think that's as good as a chicken mayonnaise sandwich can get in a local little coffee shop. Not bad at all. And we'll end off the video with me in my usual spot, sitting in my car while I wait for my son. I wanted to let you guys know that I always keep sunscreen in my car, a little bottle. So what I do is, like, now I've been driving and the back of my hands get the sun, obviously on the steering wheel. And so at least, even if I'm like at a stop street or something, I can quickly put sunscreen on my hands. Let me show you without blocking the view here. Like I don't know if you can see. This one's very, very greasy for the sunscreen. So I keep sunscreen in my car. I keep sometimes a deodorant. I don't know about now. I keep sanitizer. I should keep wet wipes. I don't. I think I'm going to do that again. I've got tissues in my car. I'm a tissue freak because I find they're so useful for a million and one things. And I keep hand lotion and yeah. And then I'm so glad in my bag I had toothpicks because after the sandwich I had like bits of bread caught in my teeth. And now that I'm a lady who's vlogging on the run, one needs to be clean and have the teeth clean at all times. So I sat in my car quickly and picked food out of my teeth. So I thought it would be fun to just show you what's in my car. I also always keep one of these hair clip things in my car. I usually keep a hair band over my the gear stick. I don't have one. I should, but I have a hairband. I had a spare one in my handbag. So when I went to the beach for the walk around, I quickly tied up. I tie up the end of my ponytail together so that the ponytail doesn't tangle and knot with the sweat. Because with bleach blonde hair, you've always got to be careful of your hair knotting. Oh, speaking of bleached blonde hair, since I made my video, I don't know when I'll upload it, but I recorded a video on all the hair products like that I've used over the last couple of years, because over the years I've gathered a lot. I don't finish them all. They're not all that great, although I try to keep them and force myself to finish all the hair products because obviously they all cost money, so you don't want to waste. And this is a bit of a problem. It's a bugbear. You read what the hair product is supposed to do. It's supposed to make your hair silky and smooth and soft and blah, blah, blah. And you think, okay, this is it. You order it and it's shit. Anyway, I was going through all the hair products and I had a Kevin Murphy leave-in repair. It's like a creamy formula. Anyway, it's a leave-in repair treatment. And I couldn't remember actually using it. And I was like, did I even like it? I don't remember. Maybe I never even used it. You know, when my hair was so damaged about a year and a half ago, when they bleached my whole head and that she shouldn't have. You can watch all those videos on my hair disaster and all that. And I went from blonde to brown because I got the shits with bleach. Anyway, in order to try and repair my hair, I ordered like a whole lot of treatments. I probably went overboard. I shouldn't have, because I actually know better. I know that it's just time and just leaving your hair. That's what really helps. Anyway, I bought a whole lot of repair stuff, like just frantically trying to make my hair look smooth and sleek and straight and healthy again. I know nothing can make it healthy. I wanted to fake it healthy. And I don't know if I actually used this Kevin Murphy repair leave-in treatment, because I'd ordered so much. So I was probably going to use a few and sort of see what I thought of each thing. I ordered Olaplex, and I ordered like this hair Botox, and I ordered, I think it was a L'Oreal, something like a fiber repair thing. That was shit. I threw that away. I don't even know if I used it right. The instructions were so small, I couldn't even read them. Why do they do that? Why do they print such small instructions on products that they know 40 plus people, 40 plus women, like over 40 people are going to be using? We need to see the freaking instructions. Anyway, so I'm using this Kevin Murphy leave-in stuff, and it's actually not bad. It's actually quite nice. It makes my hair dry, like I'm air drying it, but it's drying. The little blonde sort of short bits are not drying frizzed up. So yeah, I can't say it's the best thing ever, but it's pretty darn good, and I'm quite impressed. I just need to add that living in South Africa, there is a high crime rate. We do have burglar guards on our windows and doors. We have electric fences. We have security companies that you have to be hooked up here to a security company in order to have household insurance here in South Africa. So where I live right now, we've got, I'll show you, I'll turn the camera around. We've got burglar guards on the French doors, on the windows, on all that, because, and this is on the second floor. So we have to have that. It's just, it is a crime-filled country, which makes me very sad, because the country is beautiful. It is culturally diverse. We have 11 official languages. No, we don't have lions and tigers and elephants walking around in the streets. We do have monkeys that come through our garden. There is more wildlife than maybe, I'm guessing, somewhere in Europe. I lived in Greece, so I do know what that's like. We don't have these like crowded European cities where there is high-rise buildings and there are apartment blocks, but for the most part, most houses are freestanding with a garden. Not all, some. I mean, there are, like in Cape Town, a lot of people do rent in like apartment blocks where it's like a 1 or 2 bedroom or studio apartment. It really does depend where you live, but there are a lot of, like in South Africa, big sprawling houses out in the suburbs, and I'm in one of those, and a massive garden, a pool. We've got like actually a triple garage. But because also we don't live in the most expensive city in South Africa, we live in an area called Durban, outer Durban, and property is most affordable here in this area of South Africa. So you can afford a lot more. And in South Africa in general, you will find, depending on your income level, obviously, anywhere in the world, you'll find you can live a fairly, what looks like a luxurious lifestyle, but you do pay for that in terms of the crime. Also, like I mentioned, load shedding, which is where they cut the electricity off for 2 hours at a time. There's water problems, but we don't have, like I said, these big city problems where you're basically living in a shoebox. Obviously, some people live in shoeboxes here because they can't afford bigger spaces and areas. So it really, like anywhere in the world, it does depend where you live, your income, your job, your everything. But living in South Africa, it poses its own set of challenges. It really is like living in the wild, wild west, because the policing is not up to standard. Laws are broken every single day. No one gets caught. The justice system is overwhelmed. But it's also a country of great beauty. It's a country of, like I said, rich cultural diversity. It's a country where people can really come together, but they can also tear each other apart. What breaks my heart is the fact that the crime means that living here is challenging, and our children cannot walk in the streets alone. They can't really, like my son just cannot walk down to the shop. In fact, there is no shop nearby. You have to drive, go to a mall, then there's security guards, then it's safe. And so there's pros and cons, like to anywhere in the world, pros and cons. You can get away with a lot more, like, I don't know, driving. No one really obeys. They do, but they don't obey all the rules all the time. Not like in Australia, where I believe it's very policed. You can get a lot of beauty. You can get a lot of, it's like amazing. Like I said, we have fresh, clean air, clean water. I can drink the tap water. No pollution like in some of the European cities. And yet there's heartache because of the crime, because of the, just, yeah, there's problems here too. But I think as somebody coming to visit, as a tourist, South Africa is fantastic. Like I said, I would give Durban a skip, go to Umhlanga, Cape Town for sure, for sure, for sure in summer. Don't go in winter. Apparently their winters are terrible. I would skip Joburg. Other than the game parks, we do have beautiful African game parks. But it's quite an amazing country, but it's also one that I think I've seen, I've lived here, I've loved it. But I also, like, I lived in Athens for about 3 years. And if I get the chance, I would love to travel and do that thing where you travel the world and just see where your heart says is home. Because maybe there's another country. But South Africa is where my heart is. It's where my family is, where my friends are. It's where I grew up. I'm born and bred here. And it's an interesting country, that is for sure. And I love it. I love it. So yeah, my workouts, gym training, I stick to the weights, the weight section. So I'm usually in there with all the guys. I don't really do classes. I don't do Pilates. I love Pilates, and it's really difficult. I just don't do the classes. I don't know why. I think they get too crowded, and you've got to make it there by a certain time. And I like being flexible because I know what I'm doing with gym and weight training. I've had so many years of experience weight training. When I competed on stage, I'd done 3 months, 2 to 3 months with a personal trainer, and then I had a friend who was very good at weight training. She knew what she was doing. She taught me a lot, and we got a program from a professional bodybuilder, and it was just, yeah. And I mean, nowadays you really can Google anything, weight training programs, and on YouTube there's a million fitness people who will show you exactly the correct form, what weights you need, how heavy to go, how to go up in weight. There's me, I could tell you guys as well if you want to know that. So with weight training, I really do know what I'm doing for the most part. I mean, I'm not a professional, but I've also done those 2 Udemy courses on personal training. So I stick to weight training in the gym. So I'll warm up on one cardio machine for 5 minutes, and then I go and I'll do like an arm day, meaning I don't just do arms, I do, let's say, back and biceps, and then I'll do shoulders and triceps, and then I'll do leg day. I'll sort of do front of legs, and then so I usually do 2 leg days a week, and then I'll do back of legs. This is if I'm doing a 5-day split. Split means you're splitting your body parts up. What else do I do? I'll do chest. Sometimes I'll do chest and abs or whatever. So what I do nowadays is, because I know what I can do with any equipment, I actually walk around and just see what's available and empty, because the gym is very, very busy. My best time to go is after I drop my son, so that I just get it done for the day. And it's like kind of on the way out. I'm already out. But like I said, lately, now that I'm older, I am, not that I'm losing my joy of, I love weight training, but I'm also starting to realize that unless you're taking some form of steroid or something, with age, you just can't keep your muscles as full and round and firm as they used to when you were young. So I almost feel like I'm fighting a losing battle. And I feel like I need to listen more to my body. My repair is not as good. My recovery is not as good. It's just age. It happens. It's normal. Which is why, and I've mentioned in one video, I think before, I have experimented with just 2 weeks here and there with Anavar. It's like the most female-friendly steroid. I just didn't like how it made me feel, which I'm glad, actually. I'm actually glad in the long run that it didn't feel nice in my system. And I took half of the smallest dose. I took like a quarter, 2.5 mil. It's so little. I just wanted to sort of see. That was a while ago, and I think I don't know. Sometimes you look at fitness influencers and you think, okay, that is the way I'm going to stay looking firm and toned forever. You know, I want to do what they do. What do they do? Oh, they're probably taking something. Oh, what are they taking? Oh, it's probably Anavar or growth hormone or some combination of something. And like, for example, I will look at a 50-year-old fitness influencer or a 40-year-old one, and I mean, they have buns of steel. And I'm thinking, oh, I also want buns of steel. Of course I do. We all do. And then, so yeah, you get like not brainwashed, but I guess brainwashed is the word, where you end up doing shit you shouldn't really do. And not that I'm not bashing anyone who does steroids. I think there's each to their own. I don't think they're as bad as people make them out to be if you use them responsibly, but I also don't think that they're that good either. I think they do come with health issues and risks. So the nice thing with Anavar is it was actually developed for AIDS patients, for burn wounds, for muscle wasting. It was developed for with women and children in mind as well. However, it just made me feel wired, and it could be because it's underground. I don't know. I really don't know what it was. I just didn't like it. I'm not going to go down that road again. It's just, I've realized I just need to accept how a woman ages is okay. It is okay. It's acceptable. Even if I sometimes, like, I look at all these changes, like in the skin and the tissue underneath the skin. And even when I was running along the beachfront today in the sunlight, my legs are just looking so cellulite. And I'm pretty darn slim, and I've exercised my little heart out, my guts out. And so I'm thinking to myself, if all that exercise, like my diet's not that great, but if all that exercise hasn't gotten rid of cellulite, let me tell you, girl, nothing will. Let me just tell you right now, save your time, save your money. There is nothing that's going to get rid of cellulite other than if you starve yourself to the point where you've got almost no body fat. That is it. That is the only way. And I mean, life's too short. Who wants to be starving all the time? I like to be slim. I like to get my weight down. But anyway, here comes my son. So I'm going to love and leave you, but there's no cellulite reduction cream or solution. Cheers, guys.